Hello everyone, welcome to today's Vision 6 Power Session, Event Marketing Made Easy with our new events module. My name's Andy, the product trainer here at Vision 6, and I'll be taking you through today's session. So the new Vision 6 event module, what does this allow us to do? Well, you can create events and manage your event communications within Vision 6. It also allows you to quickly and easily create emails for event registration and the promotional side of the event as well. And you can create pre and post event automations with just a few clicks. So it's a nice, easy little package, allowing you to really save some time and effort with your events, particularly if you have a lot of events and you want to have that automation piece running. It makes it very easy with just a few clicks to set that all up. Now, two different types of events are supported. You've got events which you can now set up in Vision 6. We've got a new events module, of course, to do that in our platform. And there is, of course, the existing Eventbrite integration, which we've had for a little while now, but that's now been enhanced to include some of these extra new features, which we'll go through shortly. There is too also a new events dashboard panel on the main Vision 6 dashboard when you log in, and we'll have a look at that one as well shortly. Now, this is a little summary of this is not comparing platforms, but rather where should you create your event? Which platform should you use to actually set up the event that you're looking at running? Now, if you need ticket sales and payments, then that's not something handled within Vision 6. So you would set up your event in Eventbrite for that. Registration forms, again, any platform's okay for that, as you can see there. If you need landing pages and you don't want to create a landing page on your website, then Eventbrite is the best platform to create your event in for that. All the next ones, automations, the new event component, which we'll show you shortly, contact lists and segmentation, and the add to calendar reminder. It doesn't matter where your event is created, in which platform that's created. For any of those features, that will just work for you as well. If you have an event series or a recurring event, only the Eventbrite events support those. So you'll need to make your event in Eventbrite if you need recurring events or series. Now, the cost of the different module, it's actually included in Vision 6, which is great, but note that Eventbrite may incur fees, again, just depending on the plan that you go with for Eventbrite, and of course, any ticketing and payment options that go through Eventbrite. So if you are creating your event in Eventbrite, note that there could be some extra fees, again, depending on the plan, but if you're creating it in Vision 6, then that's included within the platform. So let's have a look at the first of two event types. We'll look first at Vision 6 events. So in other words, events that we make or create in Vision 6. So we're going to build one in the platform, and then we'll create a registration email. Let's have a look at how this works. So I'm now over in Vision 6, and there's that new events panel that I mentioned here on the Vision 6 dashboard. And I already have one event in there, and that's an Eventbrite event. I can see here with the little E logo that's an Eventbrite event. And I can actually see this as a multi-day event or an event series because I've got 9 dates that this event is running. I've also got a target of 500 tickets out of 1,000. So my little indicator there is showing that anything above the 500 is great. Anything below the 500, we may elect not to run the event. Maybe it won't turn a profit, I'm not sure. But you can use that as a great little indicator there. But let's start with Vision 6 events. So events built in Vision 6. So to make a new one, we press the little plus button here to create an event, and we can then pop in some information for the event. So we'll give the event a name. So this is the XYZ Donuts Decoration Masterclass, and a description for the event as well. Some details there. This can be copy and pasted from another application as well if you've got some promo material already created. Next, we can choose an image for the event. So when we click on this, it just opens up the standard Vision 6 files and images browser, and I can pick from any of the images that I've got in my folders here or upload an image from my computer. But I'm just going to use this one here and insert that. You can crop that if you need to and zoom in on it. So you do get some basic image editing functionality here as well. You just can't change the aspect ratio because that's designed specifically for the event component, which we'll see shortly that it needs that particular size. We can also then remove it and swap it out if we want to change the image. Underneath that, we've got the event location. So if it's a physical event at a venue, we can pop in the address details here. If it's an online event, then we can press online and then add some information here for the registration links. So firstly, we have this event URL. This is a link to the landing page where the person can find out more about your event. So this is something you might set up on your website, or if you use another platform, you can then pop the information in here, or the link to that from there. I'm just going to pop a link in there to our masterclass information page on the website and insert that. And for the registration URL, this is where people would go to register for this event. Now, this can be a Vision 6 form if you want to. And to do that, you just come across to Web Forms here and then choose the registration form you would like to use for this event. So that's entirely possible as well. You can have people register from within the platform, and all their data, of course, then goes onto a Vision 6 contact list. But for now, I'm just going to pop in this external link to an external registration page. So far, so good. Now I can set the event date and time. So I'll make that next Thursday, the 18th, and we'll make it start at 11 a.m., but then finish at, well, let's go with maybe 3 p.m. as the finishing time there as well. Now we can optionally create a list for this event as well. So if I just leave it as is, it's not going to store any contact information anywhere. I'm just going to use this event to promote it within emails. I might use external registration forms and that kind of thing. But if I want to have a list attached to this event, I need to press Create List, and I can then choose the folder and the list name here as well. And that's just picked it up automatically from the event name. I can then pop in a total ticket number. Now this is sort of just used as an indicator. So what's your ideal number of tickets you'd like to sell? Vision 6 doesn't stop registrations or anything like that after reaching this number here. Again, it's just a visual indicator to say, well, we're aiming for 50. If we get more, excellent. If we get less, well, we may reconsider running the event or whatever the case might be. So again, just an indicator there. Once I click Create Event, that event is now ready to go. So I can now go and create an email to promote that if I want to, or I can come into some of the options here to view the contacts for the event. That's using that new list we just created. I can create an email for it. I can edit the date, time, photo, etc., and then build an automation off that as well. But let's go and open up an email message. Let's use this one here that I've half created already. It just has a header and footer in it. And what I ideally want to do is pop my event information right in the middle here above the footer. And you'll notice on the right-hand side that we have a brand new event component. All I need to do with that is actually just drag that into place and then pop that wherever I want it to go in my email design. We'll pop it right here. And then in doing so, Vision 6 now asks us, okay, great, which event do we want to use as part of that email? So I'm going to come down into my list here and choose the one that I just created that's running next Thursday. It's the XYZ Donuts Decoration Masterclass. And I'm going to now insert that into my email. And there we go, look at that. So it's automatically picked up the image that was attached to the event. It's picked up the name, the description. There's the link to find out more about the event. And of course, down here is the Buy Tickets button, which links to that registration page that I also typed in when I created my event. And again, that could be a Vision 6 form. So in this case, our tickets are free, so I can change this to Register Now. All the flexibility is available here to customize the button specifics, the design and coloring of the button. All that information can be changed through here as well on the right-hand side. You can also change the date format if you need to adjust that to display in a different way if that's what you need to do. Now this is just like a normal email essentially. This is a normal email. I could switch off the event date information if I wanted to. I can switch off this image there at the top and use something else instead. But I mean, why not use the one that you've automatically created? That way it's all linked up with the event. But just to show you that it is all linked up, just like a normal Vision 6 component is, you've got all the options here to adjust the border, the background color, as normal and as expected. That's all available through there as well. You can also put conditional content on the event block as well if you need to, which is fantastic. So if you're familiar with conditional content, it lets you change parts of an email depending on conditions that your contacts might meet. A great example of that is if you're running an in-person event in Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne, instead of having 3 different emails go out to people in Sydney and in Brisbane and Melbourne, you can just have one email go out, and then you use conditional content here to change the event that's being brought up or surfaced into the email based on the user's location. Excellent. All right. Now, one other thing we can do is add a reminder link into this email as well with the new add to calendar functionality that we have available. So let's just say we wanted to add the ability for the user to add this to their calendar down here. I could then come into my text here and say add to calendar or remind me about this event. I can then highlight the text, press the insert link icon, and normally this is where you would link to a web page. You type in the web address here and so on and so forth, but you'll see we have this new add to calendar function. And this allows us to automatically remind the user based on the start date and time of the attached event. So it's a great way to automatically remind the user about this event coming up. Done, just like that. And now when the user clicks that, it'll open up a window where they can then add it to their Gmail calendar, their Outlook calendar, Apple iCal, etc. All those different functions are available there by having that add to calendar functionality or that reminder functionality. You can also add it to a button as well. So you might add a button to your email here, add to calendar. And again, when you link that, you can choose add to calendar here and link it to your event. Makes it nice and easy and brings it all through for you. The second type of event we support in Vision 6 is an Eventbrite event. So we've had that integration for, I think, a number of years now where we can synchronize with Eventbrite. And if you create an event in Eventbrite, you can then bring across any of those contacts and then market to them for the promotion of that event. That's gone a little bit of a step further now in Vision 6, in that you can automatically create all of your comms and the imagery of the event is pulled through as well, just like it was with our event that we just created there in Vision 6. So how does that work? Under the integration section here, you'll see we have an Eventbrite panel. I've already got it set up, but if you don't, it'll appear down here as one of the panels, and you can connect on that little panel when it shows up. You only need to set up the integration once, so it'll ask you to log into your Eventbrite account. And when we press manage, it then allows you to bring through any Eventbrite events that you have. So you can press add event and it will go and look at Eventbrite, see all the events you've got in there, and you can choose which ones to bring across into Vision 6. You still always manage the event in Eventbrite. It just allows you to sync the data for the event across to make it easy to build emails for it and manage your registrations. So you'll see this one here is connected from Eventbrite, but it has 9 dates attached to it. And if I open that up, you'll see that this is an event series or a multi-day event, and it's got these 9 different dates where our event is running. Now, of course, because Eventbrite is handling registrations, if someone does go and register for this in Eventbrite or on that registration page, this little indicator would say 1 out of 1,000 tickets has been sold, and 2 and 3 and so on as you get more people register for this event. Now, I've put my target down as 500, and that's why this little indicator is showing right bang in the middle here, because again, that might be an indicator for us to say that, well, if we sell 500, then we're going to run that event. If we sell under 500, well, we might decide to merge it with another event that's not doing so well and combine the dates together. So again, just a visual indicator as to how you're doing with sales for each event. This little bar will color green to show you how the sales for each event are going in your tickets. So again, that's how to bring Eventbrite events across into Vision 6, just with the add event there. But once it's in here, you can easily press these little 3 dots here and create an email for this event, and it automatically goes and builds that email for you, or create an automation for it as well as one of your options there. And you can view the contacts for this event if they've come across into Vision 6 through there. So some nice, great, easy options for that in Vision 6 as part of the integration. It works the same way from an email design point of view though. So if I open up this same email as before, it's just my base email template, I can grab my event component, drag it in, and this time, instead of choosing my Vision 6 event, I just have to look for the ones with the E logo, and you'll see there's the one right there, Decoration Masterclass event, and I know that because it says multiple events, so that's the multi-day event or the event series. And Vision 6 is smart enough to detect that it was a multi-day event or an event series, and it's now asking me, okay, this email we're building, is it just for a particular one of those events within this series, or is it for all of them? So let's say it's for all of them and press Insert. So again, it brings through the image from Eventbrite, so the image that we've attached to the event. There's our link, so that's the registration or the information page, sorry, for that event in Eventbrite. And because I chose all of the dates, you'll see we have multiple buy ticket buttons through here. Also on the event dates panel, you can now see that we've got a little bit of extra information. Not only can we change the display of the event just like before, but also now we can turn particular dates on and off if we only want to show certain dates in this email. By default, all future dates are shown, but I can customize that by switching them on and off here, or just choose all. Just like before, I can modify the font settings of the actual information here, the display. I can change the button color to match our branding if desired as well. I could change this to register now. And because this event is being handled through Eventbrite, also it knows when the event sells out too, and we can change what the sold out text on the button looks like when an event sells out. So let's just say this second one here has sold out at the time of this email going out. That button will automatically be disabled and it will say sold out on it instead. So it can create a sense of urgency through there as well. Some of the other options you get access to, of course, other than the button, is this date separator, which is that little thin line that you see there between each of our events or the event dates. So again, I can adjust the specifics of that there, such as the radius. I can change the padding between each of the dates there, the line thickness, the line color, and of course turn it off if I don't want to use the line there as well. So heaps of different options available through there. Now, if you make sort of some changes to the event, maybe the information changes, or you change the image and you want to reset it back to what it should be, we've got this apply event, and that goes through and automatically sets it back. So it'll reset the photo and reset the information at the top here if you've gone and changed that. So it's a great way to just sort of bring it back to what it should be by resetting that. You can also click on this and change it to link to a different event instead if you want to. So a different event there with different dates. So it makes it very easy and quick to sort of really build out your events to be the way you want in your email design. And of course, you can have the add to calendar function in there as well. Just like before, you add a button or add a link, and you can choose add to calendar in there. The other great thing with the add to calendar function is you don't have to use it for events at all. You can just use it for a normal email that you might send out to someone to remind them of an appointment that they might have with your accountant. Maybe you're an accounting firm and you want to remind your clients using automation that they have an appointment coming up. You can very easily just add that to any email message that you create. So let's just choose this one here, for example, and I wanted to add a appointment reminder button into my email. I can do it anywhere. It can be a button, it can be a text link, it could be image, but let's say do it as a button. They're nice and obvious. I drop that into my email. I can pop it here, add to calendar. I might change the button color a little bit to suit the rest of the email color scheme. And then I can, just like before, select a link. And instead of adding a web page link, which is what you would normally do here, or linking to a form, we've got this new add to calendar function here, as I showed you before. And before, what I did is I actually linked this up to the Vision 6 event or the Eventbrite event that I've got in the platform. However, as I said, you don't have to tie this to an event. You can choose custom, and then you can create anything. So we could say your appointment with Bob Smith, tax agents. You can put a description. Please bring your latest BAS tax info with you, and a location. Oops. And then the actual date and time of the event through there as well. And when the person gets this email and clicks on that link to add to calendar, it'll automatically allow them to add it into their Google Calendar or Outlook, Apple, etc. This will be the name of the appointment in their calendar. This will be in the description field in their calendar, and that will appear as the location field. And I know in Gmail certainly, and possibly other applications as well, when you click or tap on that location on your phone, it opens up Google Maps or Apple Maps and allows you to have directions to that location. So this just builds a normal everyday calendar appointment automatically for the user tied to this button. When they click on it, it then goes and opens it up for them in their calendar. So it's a great little function that you can use for reminding people about anything with a calendar reminder. Doesn't have to be an event. It can just be an appointment or anything like that. So a really, really handy new feature, very, very useful. Now let's finally, in the last couple of steps here, look at how to automatically build an automation for our event. And this includes pre and post event comms. So we'll jump out into our automation section here. I won't save that email. And the great thing is that you can use our standard automation to do this. You don't need to be on a special plan or anything like that with our advanced automation. You can do this on the standard automation through here. And all we need to do is click on New Automation. And you'll notice we have a couple of new ones here. We have the event reminders with the mirror ball icon here. This one allows you to create a reminder and a series of notifications for Vision 6 events. And we also have this one here. This one admittedly has been here for a while as well, of course, because we've had the Eventbrite integration for a number of years. This does the same thing, allows you to set up a series of notifications and reminder emails for Eventbrite events that you've brought across into Vision 6 with that integration I showed you earlier. So let's create a reminder series for that Vision 6 XYZ Donuts Masterclass event I created in our platform. So press create on there, and now it asks you which event do we want to create it for. Well, it's this one here. Press create. And what Vision 6 does is it's automatically made for us this 5-step automation. So what it will do is when someone registers for the event, it sends a thank you email, a confirmation email, and that email there might be the one that has the add to calendar in it because they've registered for the event. They've confirmed they're attending. That's the one you probably want to put the add to calendar link into because they've confirmed they're coming along and they can save that into their diary. And we've also got one here for 1 week before the event. It automatically will send out an email to the user to remind them. On the day before, on the day, and on the day after, it sends a thank you email as well. And you can go and customize all of these. You can switch individual steps on and off. You might only want the first two. And of course, you can add SMS into the mix as well by creating new messages here and adding to this workflow with SMS messages as well, which works really well for that day before and on the day reminder as well. Another great thing you could do there is you could set up all of your surveys in Vision 6 under lists and forms, and you could have a survey for each of your guest speakers. And again, with the automation, you could have it send out an SMS link to all of your event attendees, maybe 5 minutes after the scheduled end time for each speaker session with a survey. What did you think of Bob's talk? What did you think of Kathleen's talk? So on and so forth. Again, you can really sort of build that event's workflow and automate it through here. Everything from the reminder to the surveys and, of course, the post-event wrap-up email as well. Any videos and photos you can include in that last message as well. So it's a nice, easy way to sort of wrap that all into one easy-to-use package. Now, of course, Vision 6, as part of these 5 workflow steps here, it's automatically made 5 new email messages for me. And here they are. We've got registrations now open. The event starts next week. The event starts tomorrow. The event is on today. And the event was yesterday. You can go into each one of these and customize the way they look, change the subject, and so on and so forth. But if we just have a look at one of them quickly, you'll see that it's all using wildcards. So the email itself in this fashion might look a little bit boring, but remember, it'll automatically put the event image here. It'll automatically put the name, venue, location, first name, and all the event details. It'll automatically fill that in for you because these are all wildcarded fields. It just grabs the event details and fills that in into all the different spots. You can, of course, still customize this email, though. You could come into the top and add your logo in there if you want to, absolutely fine. It just works like a normal email that you're building through a normal email template. So you can still customize that email completely, change the colors and so on. As long as you leave the wildcards intact, it'll automatically still work as part of the automation. Now, the same is true for Eventbrite events, the exact same steps, but instead of choosing the Mirrorball icon, you choose the Eventbrite one and create your event that way. But all the automations are all automatically preset for you there. Now, one little handy thing we've got, if you do run a lot of events, and I'm talking, a couple a week or one a day, you might be an agency running events for clients or managing events communications for a number of clients. What you can do is actually create your own customized wildcard email template to use for all of your event automations. So this one's a little bit interesting. It's not a use case that would apply to everyone out there. That's definitely definitely true. But if we go and make a new message, I'll just use this template here, for example, and I'll drag in my event component. Let's say we want that to go in there. Instead of choosing a particular event, so instead of locking this email to be for this event or that event, I can come right to the bottom and choose event wildcards. This builds a very special version of the email in that everything is wildcarded, the image, the name, the URL, the time, etc. So very similar to that one we actually saw before. But this allows you to sort of put it inside an existing design like this. You can then go and delete the bits you don't need. Maybe we don't want this, and the next bit we don't need any of this stuff. And we can now save this or even save it as a template. And now when we do automations, or if we're using the Vision 6 API, maybe we're using an external system and we want all events comms to be created automatically, we can actually use this email template as the base for all of our automations moving forward, or even for our API. So again, it's not a use case that applies to everyone, more for agencies or event management companies, but this makes it really, really easy to be able to create your event emails because the whole thing is wildcarded and it will just automatically pop in all the details, pictures, events, details, buttons, and so on for you automatically if you use this function. So common questions we get, oh great, when can I have this? Because you may have just logged into Vision 6 in your excitement and seen that you don't have it yet. It's actually being released in early March 2021, so very soon, only a few weeks away. But the great thing is we already have support documentation and videos for the event modules. So if you want to sort of have a look in there, maybe share it with other team members, get a bit of an idea of how it will work. If you've got this video, of course, for the Powersession as well, but you've got those step-by-step guides available in our support center as well. All you need to do to get there is press the question mark icon in Vision 6 and go to Help Center, or you can type in that link into your web browser. That opens up this page here, and just type in events. And you'll see we have this great overview article here. It's the first one that comes up, and this sort of walks you through which event type to use. So do you use the ones built into Vision 6 or do you use the ones set up in Eventbrite? So it walks you through all the different types of events that you can set up and which platform is best for which. We also have a couple of common questions there. And then the key information here is how to create a new event, how to edit an event, how to make those automations that I showed you before, and so on and so forth. So all of these articles here will have the detailed step-by-step guides, as well as the video at the top there as well that walks you through the process. So some great documentation to read in anticipation of having that rolled out in the next couple of weeks. Thank you very much for joining today's Vision 6 Powersession. We hope you've enjoyed the Vision 6 Events module preview available in your platform with that all-important Add to Calendar link coming very soon.